British Airways have started an investigation after a plane made an emergency landing at Heathrow earlier. Witnesses described seeing flames from one of its engines as it approached the airport. The incident closed both runways, causing major disruption to air passengers. Sky's senior correspondent Ian Woods has the details.
On fire, but still flying. The smoke, which trailed from the right engine of the British Airways jet as it made its way over London, caused concern to those below, as well as those on board.
I was sat a window seat on the right-hand side of the plane, and the engine on the wing in front of me to my right, and there was a flame. And at that point, up until that point, everyone was relatively calm, considering once that happened, people started to be a little bit more shaken.
But it wasn't just the right engine which was damaged, and passengers sitting on the opposite side of the plane took this footage as the aircraft made its descent. The cowling, the casing which protect the engine, was wide open. Heathrow went into full emergency mode, and by the time the plane returned there, fire engines were waiting to douse the engines. The 75 passengers quickly left the aircraft after the emergency chutes were deployed. The aircraft was towed away to be examined, and an air accidents investigation is underway. There's speculation the plane could have hit a flock of birds, but it's unusual that both engines lost their protective cover, the aircraft equivalent of the bonnet of a car.
Well, the investigators are going to have to look at the structural strength of the cowling themselves and how they're attached to the aeroplane. Was there any form of unusual vibration? Were they not locked down properly after a routine inspection before flight?
A loud bang was heard while the plane was taking off, and air traffic controllers had spotted debris falling from the aircraft. The crew decided they needed to land, but must have been confident that they could do so safely, because they decided to return to Heathrow even though they'd be flying over a densely populated area. It was only as they descended that the engine began billowing smoke, but the plane touched down safely on the northern runway 26 minutes after takeoff.
People train for this in the simulator. Yes, they do train for that in the simulator, but I tell you that when something happens in the air and you've got a few thousand feet between you and the ground, it does concentrate the mind more than in the simulator when you're welded to the ground.
British Airways have refused to comment on what may have gone wrong. The incident caused delays and nearly 200 cancellations on one of Heathrow's busiest weekends of the year, but many of the passengers who'd been on board opted to get a later flight to Oslo. Ian Woods, Sky News.